What's going on, everybody? It's the Lob here with another Minecraft video. This time we're going to do something different from the other two videos that we've been doing. We're doing a tutorial today. That's right, a tutorial. I made this lovely build a couple of days ago, and well, I got a lot of good interest and feedback on it, and so someone asked me to do a tutorial, so I figured, you know what? Why not? Let's do a tutorial for y'all. So I've got this set up to be built right over here. So I've got the dimensions of the build laid out here for you. The main house being in the yellow and the red, and this white and blue being the porch over here that extends out. And these are the main dimensions of the build that we have. And coming on over here, we have the color palette, the blocks that I used, every single block that I used in that build. We have the floor palette right here using the stone, andesite, cobble, mossy, stone brick. I used some of the stone staircases here, cracked stone brick, and the mossy stone brick. Then we've got the wall and the main structure color palette here, coming in with our spruce logs, both stripped and not. Then we have our stripped oak blocks, our stripped birch wood. Then we also have the barrel, and we have all of these birch blocks, the regular, the staircase, and the trapdoors. We have all of these oaks, the full block, the stairs, the slab, and the trapdoor. All of these spruce. That's a lot of spruce. I know, I love spruce. It looks great. The full block, the stairs, the slab, trapdoor, and the pressure plate, along with the signs, the fence, and the fence gates. We've also got a little bit of color in there with the dark prismarine, and then we use a little bit of dark oak in the stairs, trapdoors, and the pressure plates. That thing, as well as using the dark oak fence gate. And finally, the last little bit of block palette that we have are the detailed block bits, the pieces that are used as finishing touches, as interior decoration, exterior decoration, things like that. We have our composters, we have our spruce leaves. You can use any leaves really, but I like the spruce. I think it complements the spruce wood a lot better than any other colors. We have our chests, we have regular furnace, and our smoker. I also have a little detector rail. We only use one of those in it, but you know, I figured I'd put it there. We have an andesite wall. We have lit and unlit campfires with some meat on it and one of there. We've got some red carpet, some brick staircases. I got our note block here with a couple of things. They won't be on the note blocks, but you know, I use them. So I got the stone button, and I've got this tripwire hook. I've also got ferns inside of pots. I've got a cauldron filled with water. I have lanterns, chains, and a brown bed. And that is every single block, to the best of my knowledge, that will be in this build. So without further ado, we're going to get started. And I'm going to walk you straight through this. Alright, let's go. So we're going to start off really simple, just building the main structure walls here of the build, starting with the post. So here I have this laid out in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So a 9 by 12 here. With these little squares sticking out are the log pillar supports on the outside, and so each one of these over here are going to be stripped, with the middle ones in here being regular. These are stripped. These are regular, and we're going to bring each one of these up by 3. Now that we got all of them raised up by 3, in the middle here, we're going to place these barrels facing up on just the stripped spruce. And then we're going to add our logs, stripped spruce logs, in between everything. Except for here, we're going to change this to spruce, although these are supposed to be 4 high. Just kidding. Do that, and then that. And then everything else around the top is going to be stripped spruce. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the inner walls here And this is just made all out of your oak planks. I am not going to be doing texturing in this video. I'm going to be making everything straight up, and you can texture things how you like. However, I will walk you through how I do my texturing here in just a little bit, so that if you're not familiar with texturing, that you get a little bit of an idea of what texturing will be like. So I'm going to be bringing these up only two, saving spaces for windows here, here, and one right there. We also have a 2 wide window here, so we'll raise this up 3. This can you can get rid of that. Actually, that's the door's going to go here, but just raising this all up 2, leaving a 2 wide window there, a 1 window here, a 1 window here, and a 1 window here. Again, same thing over here, 2 wide window there, breaking that open, don't need that there, and we have our inside walls. The next thing that we're going to do to complete these walls is we're going to give this a trim on top of your spruce logs. And then finally, to complete these 2 wide windows on either front and back of the build, we are going to place our upside down staircase like this to give a little bit of a divot, and we'll come back through later on and put our fence gates in as the windows. So the next step that we're actually going to work on is we're going to do a little bit of the roof. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my trim of the spruce stairs, and we do a simple pattern of an upside down staircase, a full block, and a right side up staircase going all the way up to the center. And when we get to the center block here, what I'll do for now is just place 2 full blocks in the center, and I'm going to match this on the other side. Now that we've got this matched here, I'm actually going to mark this out with my spruce log, because I know I'm coming through with spruce here afterwards, and I'm going to bring it out too. Once you have it out too, you can do this little bit of a pattern on top with a full block in the middle, 2 stairs on either side, a stairs facing this way on the top, and then I add the trapdoor right there. So I'm going to mirror the other side just like this. Alright guys, so now that I've got the trimming mirrored, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this trimming on the bottom here. And then the last thing I do is I double up this trimming on this build. Now for the double trim, I don't do the upside down staircase here. I just go up. It leaves a little bit more spacing, a little bit more room for your details. Alright, and with our trim doubled up, leaving this trim not going across because we've got the awning coming down here, we are ready to move on to more of the roof. In fact, I want to get this roof done before I do the wall in here. So to start this roof, the first thing I'm going to do is come over with a stripped oak wood and just go right across this top stripped spruce right here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to inlay our birch planks in by 1, going up 3 blocks. Sorry, it's 4 blocks, not 3 blocks. We're going to go 1 higher up here and have it end just like so. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the little sections that jut off of the roof here, the 3 little triangular roofs. So we're going to start down here with an upside down staircase just like so, bringing in a staircase facing that way. That way we get this nice little L shape. And then we're going to do just a simplistic little staircase right here, just like so, finishing off with a spruce log in here, which we can run through to the other side, and finish off with a staircase facing that direction. And we're going to mirror it on this side. Now when you get to this one, we're not mirroring it facing out like that. We're going to actually, because it's going to connect to the other one, face it out like this and add a upside down staircase right here. And we're going to repeat this pattern except 4 wide instead of 3 wide on this side. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to do the same pattern here, going up just like so, but then we're going to add 2 upside down staircase like so, and then I'm going to bring it back down. So just like so. So I'm going to do this pattern over here one more time. And one thing that I did do wrong is you're going to have your spruce logs coming out right there as well, with your staircase upside down right there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make these tiny little windows here. These are a little trick that I discovered when making this that I absolutely love. When making tiny windows, I think they look just amazing. So all we're going to do is we're going to break the outer edges here and place 2 staircases facing the bottom corners of that to give your little window here. Next, we're going to do the same thing on this side, on the outer edges there, but then in the middle, we're going to have one facing an L in that direction and one facing the L in this direction to make just a little bit wider of a window. So we're going to repeat it on this last one, and then the final thing that we're going to do is fly on in here and place our trap doors over top of the staircase. And then when you fly around and you look at it, it's got a little bit of a framing inside of that tiny window. I love it. It's just so cool. It's cool. I like it. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to place our signs above it to give a bit of a windowsill trim. And this side of the wall is pretty much completed. Now we will work on finishing off the roof, which we use the stripped oak wood and our oak stairs for. So all it is, it's a simplistic step going up, and we're just going to go all the way across. However, I am going to make sure that they're all in line. The birch here on this one, and we're going to just keep going across until we get all the way. And we're going to just go in a stepping pattern all the way up. So once you have all 4 of your logs in place, we'll come to this top row and place our stairs in place, and we place 4 facing outwards and 1 facing that direction, which we will then use our oak trap doors to place down, and we will repeat this pattern on over to this side. And then because we are up here, we will go ahead and we will do a little bit of the detail work up here, placing 4 spruce trap doors underneath, and then the spruce signs all the way across this log. With those placed across the top, we will place 3 trap doors up on either side over here, and then spruce pressure plates all the way across the top. It gives a nice little bumpy texture. It's kind of hard to see, but I mean, if you look at it just from here, it just gives a little bit of detail and texture to it that I just really like. And once you have that whole thing complete, we're going to build the trimming for these parts that go up. And so all you're going to do for either side here is place a full block, 2 staircases, and then if you'd like, I prefer to put one of these trap doors here just to give a nice, more of a gradual slope. And I'm going to repeat that on this side. And then for the middle, we will do a 2 stairs facing each other like that, with 2 full blocks here. 2 stairs facing outward up here, and 2 stairs facing each other up here. And I will put my spruce trap doors just to keep the same gradient going up right on top there. And with that, you have one side of your roof completed, and we'll copy the other side just like this. All right, so now with both of the sides of the roof done, we're gonna do a little bit of detail work on the roof, and the roof actually will be finished. So we're going to grab our spruce signs, our spruce fence, chain, lantern, flower pot, fern, stone button, and spruce button, and we'll grab our spruce trap door. Placing our spruce trap doors like this with our spruce sign on either side. I place the spruce button on top and on bottom, the spruce fence sticking out, and then I just do 3 chains down and a lantern, and I'm going to do that on the other side as well. So next we'll get on to the details of these logs right here. For all of these logs, we're going to have a fence on the outside here with a spruce trap door on both the top of the log and on top of the fence, with a singular chain hanging down on both of the outer ones, and then the lanterns hanging on the middle, and on the outside we have our pots with our ferns in them. And then our last bit of detail is on the outside ends of each one of these logs, we're going to put our stone buttons. Last thing we're going to do is place our stone buttons along the inner trim here on each one of our full blocks. And I'll do that on the other side as well. All right, with the details on the roof complete, we can actually start working on this inner wall right here. All right, so we're going to have our strip spruce, spruce slabs, birch planks, spruce stairs. We have a full spruce block as well, stripped oak log, spruce trap door, birch trap door, spruce sign, and then your dark prismarine blocks. So we're going to start by extending this pole all the way up to the top. The next thing we're going to do is something I messed up on, is we're going to flip this outwards. So it's going to be sticking out like that, connecting to the pole. And so once you have both of your poles up, you're going to count 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the top of this, you're going to add a slab of spruce wood going all the way across the top. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a slab of spruce wood going across the top there, connecting those stairs we just turned out. And then we're going to bring it back one more to bring it back into this to match up with where this is at. Finally, we're going to make this pole that sticks up to here with our stairs right there. We're going to do our full blocks down to here and down to there, and then finishing it off with a trapdoor right there. Last thing we're going to do, just to cover this up, is we're going to strip oak logs that we had that were connected to the roof at first, but we're going to stick those logs in there just to give that a nice covered up look. In the back here, you can just go ahead and press it up against this log, is we're going to put our dark prismarine blocks right like so. The last thing that we're going to do is finishing off this part right here. We're going to put our birch trap doors all the way in here. So you should have 6 in total, 2 on the left side and 4 up the middle, and then opposite over here, 2 on the right side and 4 going up on the left. And then the last thing that we'll do is to keep with this birch color, we're going to put 2 high of birch there, and then we're going to put a 2 high of our full spruce planks here, which I'll use my slabs for. And then we're going to add the windows in, which is the same technique we use on the other side, but we're not going to be lining the inside with the oak trap doors. Finally, we're going to take our spruce sign, because this is an awkward bit of a transition if we just leave it plain. And then finally, we're going to take our spruce gates and line them up there. The last bit of detail we're going to do is on the pillar. We're going to add a spruce trapdoor here, and then right below that spruce trapdoor, we're going to add a sign. And once you have that done, you have this entire side complete, and you're going to mirror it on the other side. All right, and with the upper walls complete, I'm going to move on to these lower walls down here, doing something very simple of putting spruce trap doors on either side to make them kind of look like shutters. I'm going to take my spruce fence and place them on the inside here, just like so. And then the last thing I'm going to do is place the spruce leaves down on the bottom, trap doors on either one of these. And then what I like to do is run these signs across, making them kind of look like they're held in there and supposed to be stuck in place and part of the actual build. And with this copied onto the other side, my outer walls are nearly entirely complete. One of the last things that I'll do is I'm going to place a spruce fence on either one of these corners here, and I'm going to hang lanterns on them, and my outer walls are pretty much complete on either side and just need to work on the front and the back, and then we'll do interior. So the next thing we're going to work on is the awning over here, this part that drops down and that goes over top of our patio. All right, so with the awning, we're going to do a simple 2 out and 1 down with our slabs. So we're going to go out 2 and 1 down until we are out to here. Now this final one, I'm going to go ahead and break it for now. This final one, when I am completed with this entire thing, will actually be my campfire that I'm going to extinguish, and that will be the end of it. And so once I have this completed, I put a spruce trapdoor right there. Same thing actually right here. I can't place a trapdoor there, so I just break that and put a full spruce plank right there. I'm going to repeat this pattern going down. All right, with all of these in place, the last thing I do is I place a spruce trapdoor on top, just like so. And then I'm going to come through with my oak slabs, and I'm going to offset each one of these by 1. Now what I mean by that is every time towards the end of these slabs, instead of me being up here with it and staying with it, when it finishes its last one, this one has already dropped it down by 1. So this one is going to be 1 lower, matching with it, and then since this is the last one in the lining, this oak is going to drop down to create a little bit of a banding that looks like it is with it. And we're going to stop it just down here right before the campfire blocks, and we're going to just repeat this going all the way down, and then we'll finish off by placing our campfires right along the edge. So the awning is now complete, and we're going to add the under part that holds it up. So all that is we're going to add our spruce fences on the outside, and then 3 in, and same thing on this side, outside, and 1, 2, 3 in, going up like so. Then do the same thing here, going 1, 2, placing one here, and going all the way up. And because it doesn't fit, we're actually going to fill this entire thing in, creating a bit more depth to the banding as well. And same thing on the other side. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to place our spruce fence gates along the outside here, leaving this spot open for an entrance to walk in. Same thing over here, leaving this spot open for an entrance to walk in. And then we are going to put our fence gates along all the way over here. Now we're going to leave this open over here as we're going to add our spruce fences in later, lining all of this. But for now, we're going to go through with our spruce fence gates and across all of them, including all of your openings, add these along the top. Again, leaving one space right here for the fence, which we're going to get to right now. So this part right here is going to be a bit of a plant box. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my ground right now, placing my spruce underneath because you can see through these and you want just a little bit of a brown look. And I place those first so I can place my barrels facing into them so that the door opening is faced against these and not the transparent block where you'd see it and would just look a little bit off. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place those fence gates going up the top, and I'm going to repeat the same thing over here, remembering to break the ground first. And then the last thing that we do is we place down our spruce signs to give it a little bit of banding, just a little bit more depth to it. And then to finish this this wall off, we're going to do a simple little window design, placing our spruce fences in there. And I'm going to place dark oak fences there, opening them up. And on top, these dark oak trap doors that create kind of like another shutter kind of look. And I'm going to repeat on this side. Last thing that we're going to actually do to complete this is we're going to add a log going across. But we're going to have our stripped spruce log going all the way across the top here, just like so on either side. And then we can take our spruce fence gates and go all the way across to there. And the final thing we're going to do is we're going to take some spruce stairs and place them upside down in here to create more of a gradient going up. And if you want to, you can place something else into there. You don't have to. It's just a little bit of detail. It's what you want. It's your preference. One thing I forgot to have you do earlier on was in this spot for the door, we're going to place 2 upside down staircases on the other side, just like so. And we're going to finish this off with our trusty spruce sign on top, and then we can place our dark oak in. I'm going to have to replace those when I break the floor, but you know, just to show you for now, that's what we got. And then placing your spruce trap doors on the bottom. So next, I'm actually going to repeat that same pattern on this side of the wall that I had done. And lastly, because I forgot to do this earlier, placing that like so, and then placing my signs along the top with my doors right there. And then I'm going to place these spruce trap doors along the bottom and 2 fence posts right here with lanterns hanging from them. All right, guys, and we actually have the outside of this done. The next thing that we have to do is do the flooring on both the bottom level and the inside, this patio right here, the second story up top, and then doing all the detail work of the furniture and all the stuff on the outside out here and on the inside on either level. So let's get to it. Okay, guys, so we're actually going to go along the outer edge here, breaking our wool and all the... Go back there. And all of the wool is going to be replaced by stone brick of some sort. The flooring is the only type I'm going to do the texturing, because the flooring, texturing on flooring comes really, really easily. You just kind of go back and forth on what you want it to be, just making sure not to create a pattern, but to make sure that you are varying what you're doing and just interspersing everything in. And it's just so much easier when you're doing a flooring to do texturing than it is on, say, a wall. Once you get your floor all broken out like so, I'm gonna actually come through with my regular stone brick right there for putting the door back up later. But then on the inside, I'm gonna come through with my cobblestone, and I'm just going to scatter it around randomly. Now, whenever I'm texturing, especially a flooring, I want to pick out what my main block is and place a bunch of that down in just random patterns, just kind of flying around randomly. And then I'm going to come through with my mossy, come through maybe since I'm using another cobblestone, I'll come through and break a few. And then I'll come through with my little bit less dirty, but not quite fully clean block of andesite, and kind of scatter that around, being a little bit more heavy-handed on this one than I will for the stone in the future. And then finally, I'm going to finish it off with my stone, which is my more clean block, the one I want there to be less of, because if you think about something being weathered, when it's old, especially something like medieval like this, it's going to be more weathered, and so you'll have less of these clean blocks and more of the dirty, like cobble, broken up ones, the andesite that look like they're kind of scuffed, but not entirely. And so the last thing that we're going to do to make this complete is I'm going to break a little area right here, leaving the dirt where it's at, building this up, and then placing my campfire in here. Alright, so for my decorations minus the door, I'm going to be using the brick stairs, placing them along here as a little bit of seating. I've got my composters here that I love to use as little plants. I'm going to fill it all the way up till it is about ready to burst. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror where this plant was over there, placing another plant on this side, filling it up until it's about ready to give me bone meal, and then I'm going to place some barrels next to it. And then the last thing I'm going to do, because I want there to be a vent, I want there to be a chimney on this thing, so I'm going to place a smoker with a oak trapdoor to make it look like more like it's venting. And I love these because they have this hole on top that when you place one of these, it looks like it's a chimney going out, and you can just build your chimney up however you want. Now I do a little bit of a zany chimney, kind of winding and curving because of what I have to do on the other side when I build my kitchen on the inside. To get a chimney that makes sense, it has to be kind of curvy and going up, so I'm just gonna do something like that. And finally, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our doors back in, so right there, and then just as like a little welcome mat, almost, you got these, plus then you don't have to actually press anything, you can just walk on in, and we have our porch all done. Except for this, because I'm stupid and always forget things. So next we're gonna move on to the inside. So coming inside, first thing I'm gonna do is clear out the floor here like this. And now that I have this cleared out, I'm gonna go through, same thing with my cobble. So before I get to the details in here, I'm going to add the roof in first because it's going to help me design a lot better, help me know what space I have to work with. So I'm going to add my roof in with these cross beams right here, leaving a 1 wide gap here, 3 wide gap in the middle, and a 1 wide gap on this side. And then I'm going to give a 2 wide gap here, 1, 2, and then add another cross beam across the top like so, and repeat on the opposite side as well. And then I'm going to fill in the entire space here with spruce slabs, leaving this middle open for just a minute. And once I have all of these filled in, I'm going to add my staircase going up so that I can fill in the rest of my roof. And lastly, I'm going to place a lantern on here like so, just to add some light. Next thing I'm going to do is come through, I'm going to add a little bit of plant life, and I'm going to add these plants in on either side here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, like so. So we have our plants like this. I'm going to add a booth in right here with some more plants on either side, like that. We'll take a stairs, place it out like that, and then place a lantern on top. Then we will take another one over here. And finally, we're going to finish our booth off with a little bit of a table for people to sit and eat and drink at. All right, so now we're going to come through and make a little bit of a kitchen, doing a cauldron, which I'll fill with water here in a second, a smoker, which I will place that on top of, and then I will place that down there. Now what I can do is break underneath, and if I place campfire blocks underneath lit, the smoke will come up through. I'm going to finish this off by running it over there. I'm going to place a tripwire hook, go over top, make it look like a faucet, and I'll fill this up with water. Next I'm going to make a little table sitting right here. I'll take one of my campfire blocks, place it on top, and put it out with a shovel, just like so. And next I'm going to create just a small stack of note blocks to place here, and I'm going to put a barrel up on top with a bit of a tab, make it kind of look like a keg. I'm going to place a spruce fence with a dark oak trapdoor right there. And last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some meat to that. Now you can do whatever kind of meat you want. Last thing I'm going to do to make this area complete is add a little bit of lighting right here. And then I'm going to line my staircase in these spruce trapdoors to make it look like there's a little bit of a railing. Finally, if you'd like, you can place in these carpets here leading up to the front and then on the back side as well. The last thing we need to rectify is where this chimney is going to go. So we can see that it goes up into this next to the door So it would be right here. So we're going to assume it comes up out into this block here. We can't run into that. So we're going to go up and around and up and around. And I'm going to end it up right here. And then finishing it off with the spruce trapdoors for the classic chimney look with just a little bit of a zany curve. And I kind of like the way that that looks. And so with that, your bottom is done, and we can move on to the top floor up here. All right, so coming up to the top floor in here, we're going to be bringing our spruce logs across. Then we're going to take our spruce logs as well, and we're going to go up on all of these intersections right here, and we're just going to go up just 1, 2. Next thing we're going to do is just place these oak trap doors right here as a little bit of a railing, and then we're going to place on each one of these to kind of start blocking off the rooms of these barrels facing inwards like so. Okay, and next we're going to go ahead and get the rooms started. So we're going to go ahead and place those in like that, creating a little bit of a table, and then the doors are right here. So now what we're going to do to finish off this wall is we're going to place our spruce trap doors like so to make the wall flush with the door so that we have our own room in here. And one thing I forgot to do is we don't bring this all the way across, we actually level it off right here, creating a bit of an arch up like so. So with your dark oak, just like that. And then we're going to actually come across the tops here with our spruce staircases. Once we have this all in place, we can actually start creating the roof of this room, which is just these staircases that wrap around like that, creating a bit of a trim. I'm going to place a barrel right here. I'm going to grab a bed of any color. I like the brown color. We're going to put our spruce signs up just like that, and then we're going to finally place some lighting in the room of a lantern right there, and you have a room complete. And we just repeat this on every single room. All right, and with all the rooms complete, we're going to go ahead and finish the roofing in here. So we've been continuing this on up, so we'll do the same thing just like so. But we'll just go ahead and just create a staircase pattern going on up, just like so. So I'm going to come on through with my spruce fence along this very top one and go all the way down. And then I'm going to go 1 to the side of each of the openings just to drop it down 1. I'm then going to grab a chain and go down 1, 2, add a lantern, go down 1, 2, and add a lantern. Finally, I'm going to take some dark oak stairs and create a little bit of a sitting area over here, and same thing over here. I'm going to add some spruce fence and some dark oak trapdoors for a little bit of a table. One thing you can do is also come through and add your spruce signs here. I always like to get a little bit of gray in as well, so I'll come through with my stone button and just add a little bit of gray in here like so. And with that, guys, we have a pretty complete upstairs. And so with that, guys, we are complete with our tutorial. I had a ton of fun making this, guys. I'm so glad I was able to get a tutorial out for you. And yeah, I'm just super happy you guys came and watched. But anyway, guys, thanks again so much for watching. I'm glad you could join me. And until next time, y'all, bye.